वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful Mangalacharan recital. I just would like to tell you that I don't know whether everybody knows Bhaj Govindam Prabhu, who used to come to our class. His father passed on. So at exactly in an hour's time, I'm going to go and see him. So, and I will convey everybody's condolences to him as well. So if you can chant.
Mataji, please, yes, we can chant at the end of the class.
At the end of the class, if I am not there, please chant and let us all pray that his dad onward journey is peaceful.
Was he also an initiated devotee, Mataji?
Yes, Bhaj Govindam Prabhuji is an initiated devotee.
No. His father.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think they are Krishna conscious, the father and the family.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please convey our sincere condolences to him and tell him that we will pray for his father's safe journey to Lord Krishna's lotus feet. It doesn't matter if he is initiated or not. Once the son has taken lead, so the whole family will get liberation. Hare
That's
Krishna.
right.
Thank you.
That's right. Okay, so shall we continue from where we left yesterday?
But what happened to Rukma Prabhuji? He used to be on Wednesdays, right?
Yes, but today the Maharaj, Keshav Maharaj is in Nairobi, so they are attending his class right now.
Okay, thank you.
So I can start the recording?
Yes, Mataji, please. But the voice was not coming properly. Maybe you can adjust the volume of the recording.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah, even your voice is echoing, so maybe, yeah. Thank you.
Vallabhacharya was actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's equal and senior to Rup Sanatan. And he came to Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswami was writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I think. He was writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and he wanted some help editing. So then Vallabhacharya is a senior Vaishnava, and he was reading it. So then Rupa Goswami said, can you help me edit this properly? So he said, okay, I will go through some technical corrections are there. Typical writing mein hota hai. So he took that, and when Vallabhacharya was going, he met Jiva Goswami. So they were talking. So then Vallabhacharya said, your uncle, Rupa Goswami, has given me this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu manuscript, and he has asked me to make some corrections. Technical, there are some. Actually, there is no fault in your uncle's composition. Rupa Goswami is perfect. It is just that there is a better understanding, better way of writing certain things. So this is, I'm going to do the editing. So very humbly, Jiva Goswami said, very humbly, he said, no, actually what Srila Rupa Goswami is writing is actually perfect if you see it from another way. So then he gave a other understanding. And he pointed out how the original manuscript which Rupa Goswami has composed is actually correct. So he showed him, नहीं ये technically change करने का जरूरत नहीं है, ये तो ऐसा है. And then Vallabhacharya said, yeah, perfect, you are right. Oh, I overlooked this. So Vallabhacharya was very grateful to Jiva Goswami, who very humbly pointed out how his spiritual master's original composition was perfect. So Vallabhacharya returned the manuscript to Rupa Goswami, saying that your composition has doesn't need any correction, it is perfect. So Rupa Goswami said, but why? He said, no, I spoke to your disciple, Jiva Goswami, and he explained to me and I understood.
Ladies, are you stuck on that binge restrict dieting cycle and you feel like you'll never get off?
So again, Rupa Goswami called for Jiva Goswami and said, Vallabhacharya is my senior, respectable. How dare, and he wanted to do a service of helping, of correcting my work. And how dare you, explain to him like this? You have pride. Get out of Vrindavan. So that time, Jiva Goswami went to Nandaghat, and there in a crocodile hole, a hole that was abandoned by a crocodile. There he was living, and this time he did such intense tapasya. You know what Jiva Goswami was doing? He was not eating, not drinking. Once in a few days, some atta he would take, mix it with water, and just take a little bit of that very dry atta, and all day and night he would chant, and he got ulcers. His body was emaciated, and only thing he was doing was constantly chanting Hare Krishna. So during this time, they would, now Rupa and Sanatan did not even know where was Jiva Goswami. Yet Jiva Goswami felt so guilty that I am such an offender. He saw his own fault. And Sanatan Goswami, is very special for one reason. He is known as Guru of Vrindavan. Sanatan Goswami is loved by everybody in Vrindavan. He is considered as the father of all the Brajvasis. He would go to different houses. Sanatan Goswami, people would call him Baba. So Sanatan Goswami would talk to them about their household life. Acha, aapka fasal kaisa hai is saal? And they would talk in detail about his crops. And then Sanatan Goswami would say, acha, then they would say, Baba, they would tell Sanatan Goswami, Baba, meri beti ka shadi nahi ho raha hai. And then Sanatan Goswami would discuss which alliance, how. So Sanatan Goswami was like, all the Brajvasis would come to Sanatan Goswami for so much guidance, shelter. So this may not be directly, you may think it's not Krishna Katha. But Raghunath Das Goswami in his Braja Leela Stava, he writes very beautifully that I would love to hear the gossip and prajalpa of the Brajavasis. Because that is also pure Krishna Katha. So Sanatan Goswami was very, very dear. So when he was traveling, and Sanatan Goswami is very austere. So when he was at Nandaghat, so the Brajavasis told him, we have one Babaji here. We thought, oh, Sanatan Goswami Babaji, we thought you are so austere. But there is one Babaji here who is also very, very austere. And they described what he is doing, how he is crying and how he is chanting. So when he heard, Sanatan Goswami understood this is Jiva Goswami. He ran, he embraced him and brought him, and the Rupa Goswami came. And then they lived happily ever after in Vrindavan. They were serving there. So Jiva Goswami would serve Radha Damodar, would assist Rup Sanatan. And after Rup Sanatan left this world, Jiva Goswami became the main leader of all the Vaishnavas in Vrindavan. And was respected by everyone for his scholarship, for his humility. And Janva Devi, she wrote to him saying that the books of all the Goswamis and all our Vaishnava books should be treasured and preserved. So he had 3 very special students. All of you know this? First was Shyamananda Pandit. Shyamananda Pandit was actually Dukhi Krishnadas. He was a disciple of Hridaya Chaitanya. He was his student. Also, Srinivas Acharya, who was a disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, also studying under Jiva Goswami. And there was one more. Narottam Das Thakur, who was a disciple of Loknath Goswami. So these 3 were very specially chosen by Jiva Goswami as a party. They would take all the books of the Goswamis to Bengal, get it, distribute them, copy them, make them copies and all of that. And then that's another pastime. So Jiva Goswami was so influential, so very, very important. In fact, today also in Banaras, there's an entire department, Banaras Hindu University, there's a whole department to study only Jiva Goswami's books. He has composed original 4 lakh Sanskrit verses, more than 25 books, and is like unbelievable, and such humility, such devotion. And Radha Damodar temple is where Srila Prabhupada stayed for 6 years to write the first canto of Bhagavatam, which he took to America. So he would be there there is Samadhi of Rupa Goswami there, Samadhi of Jiva Goswami there. So he was in that presence of this amazing Vaishnavas, their blessings. Srila Prabhupada also distributed Krishna consciousness all over the world. Shri Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. So these 2 special personalities are embodying this purport sentence, which actually inspired. That's a very beautiful line. I'll just read that again. No one within the universe is without a relationship with Krishna. We all have a relationship with Krishna. And how is Krishna? How we have a relationship with Krishna? Okay, if you want to have a relationship with Krishna who is present in the form of deity outside, or we want to have a relationship with Krishna who is apparently outside, look at the paradox. To have a relationship with Krishna, we have to first connect with Krishna who is in the heart. Krishna is there as Paramatma, right? So, and in the Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful description of Krishna in the heart. How he is what dress he is wearing. I mean, just imagine. And the whole Bhagavatam explains the Lord in the heart. There is a chapter. I think we already covered that in the second canto only. So that, and if you read that chapter, you will learn. You'll learn to have a relationship with Krishna who is in your heart. His features are described. His hairstyle is described. Everything is described in detail. Prasanna Bhaktram Nalinayate Kshanam Kadamba Kinjal Kapishanga Vasasam Lasan Maharatna Hiranmayangadam Sfuran Maharatna Kirita Kundalam. This is the Lord in your heart. You know who is the Lord? Prasanna Bhaktram is always smiling. Smile. Krishna is always smiling. He is in your heart and he is smiling. He is seeing you, what you are doing, what you are thinking, your desires. Prasanna Bhaktram Nalinayate Kshanam. And his eyes are spread like beautiful lotus petals. And what else? Kadamba Kinjal Kapishanga Vasasam. His dress is described as dazzling yellow garments. And what else? Now this is beautiful. Huh? Not only this much. Look at the details given in the Bhagavatam. Lasan Maharatna Hiranmayangadam. He has got beautiful earrings dangling. And Sfuran Maharatna Kirita Kundalam. He has got a beautiful helmet also. Beautiful, glowing, valuable jewels on his body. And not only that, Vibhushitam me kalayanguliyakir mahadaner nupura kankanadibi snigdha malakunchitanila kuntale virochamana nanahasa peshalam. He is wearing a waist belt. That is also described. Me kalayanguliyakir. And he has got rings. And nupura, kankana, all of those things are described. And his hairstyle, snigdha malakunchitanila kund, he's got curly hair. Virochamana nanahasa peshalam, got an enchanting smile. And then Sukadeva Goswami describes, why is Krishna in your heart like this? Why is Krishna standing like this? Because he wants to have a relationship with you. And there he says, please understand this Krishna who is in your heart, in my heart, he is doing this because Adina Leela Hasite Ksanolasat Brubanga Samsuchita Bhuranugraham Iksheta Chinta Mayamenamishwaram Yavan Manodharana Yavatishthate. He says, these are Adina Leela. The Lord is in your heart as Paramatma because this is his magnanimous pastime. And his eyebrows are also described. Krishna's eyebrow, it is said, if you meditate, then you will never have problem of lust. Brubanga samsochita bhur anugraham. This is Krishna's anugraha on us, that he has come and he has situated himself in our heart as Paramatma and is giving us this darshan. You may say, Acha, wait, Krishna is inside. Have you inside? He is dressed in all of this. Okay, I want to connect, I want to have a relationship with this Krishna. Then what should I do? Iksheta chinta mayamenam ishwaram. Sukadeva Goswami says, meditate on this form of Krishna. Okay, I meditate. I see this form. Okay, Krishna has this, all this belt, his hairstyle, his eyebrows. Then what should I do? How long should I remember this form? Yavan manodharana yavatishtate. As long as you can meditate on this form of Krishna who is in your heart as Paramatma. You may say, ठीक है, ये सब आपने सब दे दिया. Abhi last how? In ISKCON we always keep asking how. Anything you say after the class, they'll say how to do this. How to do this. So, okay, now how to meditate on Krishna, who is in the heart. So then there's a beautiful verse. This is like a take home, verse from Bhagavatam today. So Sukadeva Goswami says, how do we meditate on Krishna who is in our heart? Ekaika shongani dhyanu bhavayet padadiyavad hasitam gadabrita jitam sthanam apoya dharayet param shuddhyati dhiryata yatha. Ekai kashongani dhyanu bhavayet means एक करके एक अंगों पे meditate करो. Ekai kashongani dhyanu bhavayet. How do we go up? Padadiyavad hasitam. From the lotus feet, come up towards the smile of the Lord. What will happen if we do this? Jitam jitam sthanam apoya dharet. As you go up in the meditation, like that, you will conquer over your lower nature. Param param shuddhyati dhiryata yata. As you increase your meditation, like that, yata yata, like that, your consciousness will get purified. This is the whole. Bhagavatam is giving us everything about how to have a relationship with Krishna, who is in our heart. Then we will be able to have very meaningful and effective relationship in our world outside of us. So Krishna is there in the heart. And what is he doing? He is watching us. Will we turn to him or not? Imagine like this. Imagine you're sitting like this. Imagine on your left side is your huge mind. Mind, intelligence and ego combination. We'll call it mind. Itna 10 foot lamba, and he's shouting wah, 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 constantly, and we are listening to him attentively. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever he says, we obey, right? This is the mind. But on our right side, who is there? Krishna, smiling, waiting for us to, and our mind, our head is turned here. So whole Bhagavatam class, chanting, whatever we are doing is ultimately, what is the purpose? Mundi ko hilane ka. We are supposed to come and see Krishna. And Krishna will not, Krishna is there. He's just waiting for us to take that first step. Then Krishna will embrace us. But we want to embrace the mind. And actually we are not the mind. Mind cannot even touch you. Mind cannot harm you. But Krishna is watching everything. You know, it's like that CCTV camera is on. You know, what happens when the TV camera is on? And if you know that the camera is on, what happens? You don't do anything wrong, right? Like I remember many years ago, one devotee came from America. That time mobile phones nobody had. And video cameras were also very rare. So he was making a film on Chowpatty temple. It was called Simple Temple. We didn't know the impact of that film then. But we would be surprised. Whole day we would be going around with this video camera everywhere. Everywhere we would be going with this video camera. I remember once I was sleeping in the temple hall at night, morning 4 o'clock when I woke up, I suddenly this camera is on me. His name was Arjun Parker, I think. I don't remember his full name. I don't remember his name. Very, very beautiful film he made, Simple Temple. So sometimes, we're all in the common bathroom and he's there also with the camera. So I remember, every day Mangalarti we are chanting in front of the deities at 5 o'clock. And sometimes every day you attend Mangalarti, sometimes it gets mechanical, like you are, Hare Krishna, you are just chanting, dull. And then one day I was like that only, dull, and morning Mangalarti is going on. Suddenly I see in front of me comes with this camera. As soon as I saw him, Hare Krishna, immediately I became very conscious, very prayerful. It happens with all of us. In the camera we see, immediately we become, Hare. Yes, Prabhu, the best behavior comes out. So today we can go back with this meditation that ऐसा CCTV camera अंदर है जो कभी off नहीं होता है. And Krishna is watching. Everything we are desiring, all our aspirations is watching. He's there. He's just waiting for us to tell him once, Krishna, I love you. Krishna, I want to come back to you. See, personality and character, the difference right? Personality is what? What the world thinks of us. Character is what we really are. So this world talks about personality, but Krishna wants to see the character. And personality is developed when you are with people, how we talk and all of that. Character is developed when you do things when you are alone. Actually, you are never alone. CCTV camera is on. When character is developed when we do things when we think we are alone. We are never alone. So when we are alone, so-called alone, that time camera is on. So if we remember Krishna, who is there with all these beautiful features, then Krishna is how he is in our heart. He is like that. The cars you have seen with those tinted glass. One who is inside, he can see what is happening outside. But we are outside, you can't see the person in the car. So Krishna is in our heart like that, tinted glass. So what we have to do now? See, we have to somehow, whenever we get time, whenever we become conscious of Krishna in the heart, we just have to offer up immediate prayer. Actually, prayers is a way we revive our relationship with Krishna. Like, why prayer is important? Because when we offer prayers, all those spiritual weak thoughts are there. which have no strength, which have no power, they suddenly start getting strength. Like, I'll give an example. See, according to scientists, we human being on an average, we have 35,000 thoughts in a day. How many? 35,000 thoughts means what? Like, for example, you may say, अरे प्रभुजी का क्लास कभी खत्म होगा? That thought, the thought. और आज ब्रेकफास्ट में क्या है? That is a thought. अरे कल ऑफिस का ये काम करना है? That is a thought. अरे बहुत गर्मी हो रहा है, एसी ऑन करना चाहिए? That is a thought. So we get all these thoughts. So in a day, can you imagine how much? 35,000 average thoughts ऐसा fast आता है. उसमें कहीं एक ऐसा भी thought आता है, कृष्णा, I really, really want to have a relationship with you. ऐसा आता होगा, फिर चला जाता है. ऐसा आता है ना, बीच बीच में कभी आएगा, कृष्णा, I want to be sincere. But those thoughts are very, very weak. They don't have power because they're just gone. But if we pause and follow what Bhagavatam is saying, meditate on Paramatma, prayer to Paramatma, then these thoughts, suddenly then we are zooming into this one thought which is out of 35,000 thoughts, which is just going away. We are just pausing. And then that gets energy. So therefore, we need to see Krishna in our art. And there are many ways of seeing. There are like some techniques also I can share, and then maybe we can have 1 or 2 questions. I'll just share one technique which I learned, very beautiful. So I was with Amarendra Prabhu in Atlanta 2 years ago. So he was sharing something beautiful. So we were sitting together in our so he plays this game. So I learned that game, and I also play. I have shared it with many of my friends. So you can do this anytime, and you can have a relationship with Krishna instantly. So what we were in the dining table. So Amarendra Prabhu said, let's play this Krishna game, Krishna connection game, relationship with Krishna game. So what is that? So we were all in that. So he said, you see anything? So that time I had kept, Amarendra Prabhu had kept his notes. He had this like this clip and paper was there. Anything you see? So I said, I see this clip. This paper clip. So he said, okay, now all of us here will have to share something Krishna conscious based on this clip. Prabhuji, start karo. So I said, एक minute. So he said something which helps us connect with Krishna. There has to be either philosophy, pastime, something should be there. So मैं बोला, अभी यार ये इसमें कैसे आएगा? I was suddenly caught. Then I said, give me a second. So I paused. Then I said, हाँ अच्छा है. This like stops paper ना. पेपर को रोकता है. तो I said, हाँ, similarly, Lord Chaitanya, I remembered one verse. दुर्दैव वश भक्त यदि जाए अन्य स्थाने, सेही ठाकुर धन्य तारे छूले दरियाने. How Mahaprabhu holds the shika of his devotee Kala Krishna Das and pulls him back. So I said, this is like Mahaprabhu's grip is like the clip. You know, he grips. That's why we keep shika, for that Lord can hold us. So then, like that I shared. So then it was Amarendra Prabhu's turn. So he said, so that clip was green color. Pura green tha. He said, this is reminding me of the color of Lord Ram. And then, you know so many verses. So he chanted a few verses glorifying Lord Ram's complexion. So like that, everybody was sharing something from the philosophy or from the pastime. So then we were basically, we are learning to see Krishna in the world we are living in. You getting this? Like I remember after that, it was his turn. So I said, okay, what object do you see? So he saw this glass. So glass ke upar bolna hai. So then it was my turn to speak. I said, glass mein, kya abhi, main bola dekho, glass. I gave very philosophical, dry, speculative, Krishna conscious understanding. I said, glass is, we use this to drink milk. We can't drink milk just like that. We need a glass to hold the milk. Similarly, Krishna Prem is milk, but we can't just get Krishna Prem. We need support system. We need Varnashram, Grahasthashram, Brahmacharya Ashram. So this glass represents support system for getting Krishna Prem. So then I asked Amarendra Prabhu, what do you think? So he said, he gave a very beautiful purport. He said, Krishna drinks milk. We drink milk with a glass, but sometimes Krishna is so attracted to please his cows who are his dear devotees that he directly drinks milk from the udder of the. So he went on to explain that also in great detail. So you're getting what I'm saying? You see different objects, different people, different things, and then get some Krishna connection. It cannot be done intellectually. It's not an intellectual exercise. The whole idea is ultimately it has to come from the heart. See, the idea is we are in a material world, right? So here everything should remind us of Krishna. See, when we're with Krishna, we don't have to remember material world. Mango. See, when you see mango, do you see, अरे mango मिल गया? Do you see, अरे mango का reflection कहाँ है? उनको reflection दिखाओ. Do you say like that? But if you see, if you're not able to see the mango and you see the reflection of the mango, so when you see the reflection of the mango, what do you immediately say? Arey, the mango kidhar hai? Right? But when you're having the mango, you don't see the reflection. Similarly, when we're in the spiritual world, we will not need all this. But right now, we're in the material world, dealing with material energy all the time. So we need to somehow connect it to Krishna, somehow connect it to our relationship with Krishna. So we can try this, and then we will see a tangible relationship with Krishna evolve through prayers, through Srimad Bhagavatam, and through overall devotional activities. I will pause here. If anybody has any questions or comments, we can take now for a few minutes. Hare Krishna. I see one hand here. Yes, Prabhu. And then after you, I'll take your question. Yes, Prabhu. You are asking to describe Paramatma's voice from within, how to understand that voice. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, can you kindly elaborate more on the
Voice of Paramatma.
how to identify and how to distinguish it from other voices?
Like the mind's voice, you know?
This is a common question, but I would like to know your thoughts and your experiences about this.
Yeah. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. Krishna says, without controlling the senses, we cannot really hear Krishna's voice in the heart. In the sense, mind will come. Mind knows how to come to the back door also. Sometimes devotees say, Prabhuji, my mind is so troubling me. I'm so fallen. Sometimes that lamentation is also mind only talking. Mind knows how to come through, different ways. But we need to understand the difference first of all, let us understand intellectually the difference in the voice of Paramatma and mind. So remember, I gave the example. On your left side is huge mind, right? Right side is Krishna. So what is mind's voice? Mind's voice is loud, fast, and attached. Get up. When you're chanting, the mind will say, get up and check your WhatsApp. Now. And the mind is attached. That is loud, fast, and attached. Krishna's voice is soft, slow, and detached. So what happens to many of us? We hear sometimes when you're chanting after 16 rounds, soft voice, Krishna's voice. Chant extra. And then immediately the mind says, oh, abhi isko phone karna hai, wo karna hai, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. And yes. And then what does Krishna do? Krishna is waiting. He will always wait for you to come back. And then we get busy with the mind's order. And then we feel, end mein, are yaar, dil khushi nahi hai. Because you're not turned to Krishna. So what we need to do is, first of all, slow down. Pause, slow down. Slow down your life. So I'll share one technique which will help you hear Krishna's voice in the heart, although our senses are not controlled, although we are disturbed. So to understand this technique, I have to explain one small concept of sound. This is very, very powerful. It has helped me so much. See, sound as form. Now, what I said just now, this is form. This is called sound form. In Bhagavatam, this is called Vaikari Vak. Vaikari is sound. Then there is subtler sound form, which is thought. It is Madhyama Vak. And there is something even subtler, feelings, Pashyanti Vak. So when you tell your family, or wife, or father, or mother, I am going to temple now, that is Vaikari Vak. That is a sound that you have created. That sound as form. I am going to temple. But before saying that, you may have got a thought, I am going to temple. That sound may not be externally manifesting. It may not be coming out in the form of a sound. It may be in the thought form. So in the mind, you may have said, I am going to temple. So then it comes out. It was in Vaikari, Madhyama Vak. I'm going to temple. And then you actually told, I am going to temple. That was Vaikari Vak. Got it? Now there could be something deeper. Pashyanti Vak, where temple instills in you a sense of shelter. There is such a depth of home or safeness, belongingness with Krishna. So that drives you to have a thought, I am going to temple. And that comes out as I am going to temple. So you are seeing this? Sound, thought, and feelings. Right? So when we pray to Krishna, we are generally communicating with the Lord at Madhyama Vak, not Vaikari. We are not saying, like, if all of us are standing here in front of Radha Gopinath and we say, Radha Gopinath ji, how are you? I'm fine. It looks weird, right? If all of us are talking, Radha Gopinath, I love you. You are so beautiful today. You are dressed in such a gorgeous outfit. I think today God will ask Prabhu dressed you. No, today. You're just talking to the Lord. You're offering prayer. But if everybody does in Vaikari Vak, it will become weird, right? So we are not comfortable. So how do we pray generally in Madhyama Vak, in thought form? We generally pray, and the mind, like we pray, Krishna, please help me. But this is not spoken. Are you getting what I'm saying so far? Now, look, remember this is very important. When we offer prayers in Madhyama Vak, now the whole idea is we want to offer prayers so that we can listen to Krishna's voice. But when we offer prayers in our thought form, what happens? Are you able to offer continuous, consistent, concentrated prayers for 10 minutes? You put an alarm, you try one day, take your phone, put 10 minutes alarm and put the phone inside and start praying in the mind. And after 10 minutes, alarm will go up and suddenly you will realize, Arey, mind kahan gaya? Aisa hota hai? I'll tell you my own experience. Some days back I was praying. One of my friend's son is getting divorced. So his name is, I'm changing the name, Mangesh. Just, okay. So I said, Krishna, please help. I'm not speaking this. I'm standing in front of the deities and I'm saying, after dressing, I'm saying, Krishna, please help Mangesh and his wife. They're going through a divorce. They're very nice people. Please help them, Krishna. I began like this, a sincere prayer. But in which vak it is? Vaikari, Madhyama or Pashyanti? Madhyama vak. So I'm praying, Krishna, please help them. But I'm not speaking those words loud. It is in the mind. But because the mind is very fast, when you're in the thought world, mind can jump, mind can run. So I began like this, Krishna, please help them. And then suddenly the mind started speaking. Mind said, Arey, unka divorce na, because of that girl, they are getting divorced. She is very unreasonable. And she's exactly like that lady. I knew one couple in London. So uska wife ka dekho divorce ho gaya. That also divorce happened because of that girl only. She's at fault. So see what has my mind done now? I'm praying for someone sincerely. How much time it takes to go to London? 10 hours by flight. Now here the mind went in 1 second. So I'm praying for Mangesh and his wife. And mind is now telling me, ये इनका divorce तो हो के रहेगा क्योंकि वो lady वैसी है जैसे वो London में वो lady थी वैसे. And then London का वो जो lady है ना, my mind starts telling, no, actually I'm praying in front of the Lord. And that mind is saying, oh, that lady, she looks exactly like your Barbie. Remember, she died in that scooter accident in 1991. So now the mind has sat on a time machine and gone 30 years before. And remember, the scooter को बस ने मारा था. अरे बॉम्बे में बस ड्राइवर्स कितना बेकार चलाते हैं. You see where the mind is going? And externally I'm like this. And devotees are thinking, क्या प्रभुजी pray कर रहे हैं भगवान को? क्या दिल से pray कर रहे हैं? क्या heartfelt prayer है प्रभुजी? मैं ऐसे खड़ा हूँ, mind जा रहा है, फिर वो bus accident. Then I remembered how in 1991 I was going for this college, Malhar festival from my home in Cuff Parade, and I was going by bus, double decker. And then I remember seeing a bike accident. So mind udhar chala gaya, wo bike accident. And that was outside the High Court. Then the mind said, you know that outside the High Court, you once saw a man running with a dragger filled with blood. वो पूरा scene याद आया. फिर वो blood का पूरा dragger. And then I remembered one movie which I had seen where the hero was running. When I was in college. I had gone to a movie where a hero was running with a dragger soaked in blood. फिर वो मूवी का सीन याद आया. Then the mind said, remember you had gone to see that movie with your 3 friends. अरे हाँ, फिर वो फ्रेंड्स कहाँ हैं? एक दुबई में, एक अमेरिका में, वो एक लंदन में. हाँ, लंदन में तो वो भी है जिसका पत्नी का डिवोर्स हो गया. अरे उसका पत्नी मंगेश. And then I came back to मंगेश, पूरा दुनिया घूम के. And then oh yeah, कृष्णा, वो मंगेश का थोड़ा संभाल लेना आप उनको. So you see this 10 minutes of prayer, the challenge. How will we listen to Paramatma's voice when the mind is constantly talking and we are trying to communicate with Krishna in Madhyama Vak? So our acharyas have given us a technique of communicating with Krishna through Vaikari Vak. That's why in all the acharyas write their name in the bhajan, because it has to be personal. So what, and Vaikari Vak we cannot, because people are talking. People are there around us. They will think एक पागल आदमी है क्या? कौन सब लोग ऐसे बात नहीं कर सकते भगवान के सामने. It will create a disturbance. So what we have a technique is we write. So when you are writing your prayer, it is basically Vaikari Vak. It is sound coming in the paper. That is a very good way of writing. Now let us say you are not comfortable writing, then you can try closing your room at home and communicate a prayer in sound form. Actually pray to Krishna. Krishna, please help me. First glorify Krishna. Like these verses we chanted today, describing Krishna's beauty. You can say, Krishna, today I heard in the Bhagavatam that you have beautiful slick hair and you are dressed in yellowish garments. You have beautiful waist. But so these are praise. This is Bhagavatam verses ka translation. Speak in your own words. In Vaikari Vak. So what I've seen many devotees, I've asked many devotees, their experience of offering prayers to Krishna in sound form, not in a public place, in a private space. Either the journal mein itna nahi samjhega, but when you're actually physically offering prayers, you'll go through one of the 3 experiences. One is many devotees feel weird. First time when they do it, they feel. Any guesses why they feel weird? Because they're actually talking to Krishna, but if you're talking to me, I'll nod my head. I will also talk back. But here you are praying to Krishna, Jagannath's deity or whatever is there, and Lord is just like this only. So you feel a little weird, kya chal raha hai? And also that reflects how deep within there is an atheist inside. So that is one response. Some devotees, when they start offering prayers, they start crying profusely because that connection immediately happens. Many devotees have shared ki pata nahi Prabhuji kaise pura. And there's a third experience also, very, very interesting experience. When devotees start offering prayers to Krishna in Vaikari Vak, they go through, they start feeling panting. Just like if you run a long distance, then when you stand, what happens? So it's like, because subconsciously they know that they have been running for millions of lifetimes and now they have come in front of Krishna. So that prayer session lasts with a lot of huffing, panting, tiredness, but relief, sense of relief of having come close to Krishna. So like this, we can try different ways. Journaling is a great way, offering prayers, investing our emotions in the prayers of Bhagavatam. And of course, devotional service. When we serve sincerely, hear Bhagavatam, then Krishna within the heart. Especially service is what purifies the consciousness. And in that mood, Krishna's voice can be heard. Is that okay? I'll take one last question. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. Yeah. I'll repeat your question. You can go until the mic comes. Fame, yeah. Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for your class. You beautifully explained the genealogy of Jiva Goswami. It was interesting to know he has his roots in Karnataka, GSB. So
You are also GSB?
My mom's side.
Yes.
So thank you for your class. And you spoke about fame, that some people have a worth, a value to spread it on social media, and some people find their worth through social media. Prabhu, there's a thin line.
Yeah.
There's a very thin line. So even though some start on this line, on this side, there is a tendency to slip.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
how do you stay on this?
How do you? We need association. We need to do this kind of churning. We need to come together. And we need to spend time performing activities which gives us that worth. You know, it's a thin line. That's why we need association. And very important, we need to learn to see Krishna in our daily life. We need to become Krishna conscious. That is the ultimate solution. Then Krishna reveals to us. There is no shortcut. See, what today's whole class discussion was how to see Krishna in. See, basically, to have a relationship with Krishna, we need to see Krishna. Even that social media, for example, Madhavendra Puri used fame to serve Krishna. So that social media you could use if you have talent for serving Krishna. But therefore, if you're Krishna conscious, then you won't get trapped. You see? Like, I've seen some devotees, when they see anything mundane, material, they remember Krishna. And we may be with Krishna and we get material thoughts. Like Srila Prabhupada was in Paris. Hari Vilas Prabhu says this. They are on a morning walk. And, people are going to office in their cars. It's Paris. You know what Paris is? A street of Paris, 1970s. And Srila Prabhupada stops because the breeze blows and Prabhupada says, this is Vrindavan. So Hari Vilas Prabhu is saying, I'm in Paris and Prabhupada is remembering Vrindavan. We may be in Vrindavan and thinking of Paris. So we have to learn to see Krishna in our day-to-day life. Like, Srila Prabhupada was in Australia. So there is in traffic signal, there is a huge advertisement board. And it is there even today. It was called Paramatta. So Prabhupada saw that and spontaneously he removed the A and he said, Pramatta, Nunam Pramatta Kurute Vikarma. He started chanting Bhagavatam verse. Immediately. And the same place, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was also there a few years ago. And they stopped. And Jayapataka Maharaj Swami also saw that same word, Paramatta. And he even saw and he said, Param Matha, the greatest mother, the original mother is Srimati Radharani. And he offered a prayer to Srimati Radharani.
Sell to millions of Vinted members across the UK. Earn a little extra.
Same thing. You getting it? Like, in West, they have a very popular brand, GAP, Gap. And many t-shirts also I see, GAP, Gap. So once His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj saw that, one devotee had a t-shirt, Gap written. And Maharaj immediately, GAP, Gap, Govindam Adi Purusham. So I'm just saying, spontaneously, Amarendra Prabhu was once saying, his Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Srila Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj, when he went to America first time, now Maharaj used to use Datun, from a simple devotional village background. So in America, when he went to this devotee's house, they had kept Listerine for mouthwash. So there are two bottles. One was yellow and one was blue. So when he was nearing that bathroom area, there was two Listerine bottles. And Radha Govinda Maharaj saw that and immediately he said, looking in the direction, he offered pranam. Because that blue scent, the devotee said, Maharaj, kya ho gaya? He said, nahi, ye Krishna varna hai aur ye Radha Rani ka varna hai. So he remembered Radha and Krishna. And then they were going for a program and they saw one advertisement, nursing, nursing school, nursing home tha. So Maharaj said, oh, nursing home, yahan pe Narsim Dev ka worship hota hai. Narsimha home. So he saw, so like that, spontaneous. It's not a clever play of words. What I'm saying is these are all inspirations for us to learn to see Krishna. Mukunda, when he went to see that king, he was a doctor. And the king was there was a fanning going on, Chamar Seva was going on. So Mukunda saw that Chamar and he remembered Krishna. So we may not be at that level, but we have to learn to be Krishna conscious. Then that thin line, what you are talking about. See, because some things, many of us are looking for techniques. Prabhuji, kuch technique batao. Technique nahi hai, shortcut nahi hai. We have to learn through trial and error. Most of the things, like smartphone. How many of you use smartphone? Everybody. I should have said, how many of you don't use smartphone? Okay, now smartphone, when I first got it many years ago, I didn't know how much to use it, how to use it. I caught once myself spending an inordinate amount of time on the smartphone, and then I realized, kya chal raha hai? Then I went to the other extreme, bilkul use nahi karunga. Then I saw my services were getting little impeded. So through trial and error, now I know how much to use, how much not to use. But now I have some other challenges. The point I'm saying is, we learn many things through trial and error, practice. So as you become more Krishna conscious, we learn. Otherwise, how to do this. Uska answer nahi hai. In ISKCON, I'll end with this very important point. I learned it the hard way. I used to preach sometime in North Bombay for some years. So I remember in the weekly class, I spoke about chanting. And that time I had a trend of beginning the class with questions. Like, because I said Bhagavatam begins with questions. So let us have our class beginning with question and then we will have the proper class. So last week के class के बारे में एक question पूछा. Prabhuji spoke about chanting. How to chant? Actually, so I said chanting has to be done attentively. Then I spoke about listening to one Maha Mantra and all of that. But then next week class, somebody said, Prabhuji, last week you spoke about listening to Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but mind wanders so much. So how to catch the wandering mind? Are you seeing this? How to? So I said, oh, mind को wander से रोकना है ना, तो you should do सत्व गुणा practices. सत्व गुण के ऊपर बहुत क्लास दिया मैंने, पूरा लंबा. So next week somebody said, Prabhuji, how to be in सत्व गुणा? Mind is always in रजो गुणा. So then in that class I spoke about सत्व गुण में आने के लिए breathing करो, breathing. Pause, breathing. फिर उसके नेक्स्ट क्लास में किसी ने पूछा, प्रभु जी आपने ब्रीदिंग का बोला, ब्रीदिंग पे बहुत माइंड वॉन्डर होता है, फोकस नहीं, कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर पाते, क्या करना चाहिए? आई सेड चैंट हरे कृष्णा. फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्लास somebody said, प्रभु जी यू स्पोक अबाउट चैंटिंग लास्ट टाइम, सो हाउ डू वी चैंट हरे कृष्णा? यू सॉ पूरा एक साइकिल हो गया. हाउ टू खत्म ही नहीं होगा. सो निरंजन महाराज सेज इन ISKCON वी हैव व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज हाउ टू डू इट क्वेश्चंस. महाराज हाउ टू बिकम हम्बल? यू बिकम, सो महाराज सेड व्हेन somebody asks me how to become sincere, I tell them you become sincere by becoming sincere, because that is a how to do it question. So he said the answer to all how to do it questions is you do it by doing it. But of course I understand your predicament, we all go through this, we need some practical techniques, so we try to discuss some of it today here. But at some point of time we need to embrace uncertainty. We are living at times when we want everything, clarity is the name of the game. Everybody wants clarity, everybody wants certainty, right? But many things will be uncertain in bhakti also. Many things will be unclear. It is our journey, it's our relationship with Krishna. Aajkal, if you are supposed to meet your friend at bus stop at 10:30, from 9:30 you start texting each other. Abhi nikal raha hu ghar se, abhi tum kahan hai? You know, we just. But when we were young, I would wait at the bus stop, my friend has not come, then I would have a book to read for 15 minutes, then again I would go to the PCO, call him, he's home, nobody's picking up the phone at home, then I come back to the bus stop, eat for 15 more minutes, then go to the place where I'm supposed to go. Uncertainty, lack of clarity was part of life. Now every time, everything we want to know, certainty. So easily how to do it questions are very, very rampant. So some things we'll learn. The thin line between using social media for sharing our worth and deriving worth from social media, that we will learn as we become more Krishna conscious. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you. We'll stop here. Thank you very much for kind attention. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for joining in. I hope you had a good session. I request Pramila Mati, are you able to summarize today's session?
Yes, I will try, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji continued with the Goswamis of Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. And it showed when, Jiva Goswami was more or less corrected by Sanatana Goswami, how he did severe austerities, and Sanatana Goswami appreciated that. And people used to go to Sanatana Goswami for his guidance. So Prabhuji talked about in the Srimad Bhagavatam, where there's a beautiful description of the Lord. And when we read this, our love for the Lord grows. He's always smiling. He's dressed in yellow garments, beautiful earrings, helmets, jewels, waist belt, rings, curly hair. And the Lord wants to have a relationship with us. So if we meditate on him, we wouldn't be full of lust. And to have a relation, we must have a relationship by meditating on the form of Krishna as long as we can. And then he describes how to meditate on Krishna in our hearts. And he says, from the focus on his lotus feet upwards, and we will conquer our lower nature, and our consciousness will be purified. Then we'll take the first, that is the first step. And Krishna is watching us. And our character is really what we are. when we are conscious of Krishna in our hearts, we should offer a prayer. And he quoted about, we have 35,000 thoughts for the day, but some of these thoughts are very weak. And he described a game about which Amendra Prabhu used in a teaching session. And that the whole idea of the game was we should see Krishna in the material world, and everything should remind us of Krishna. And then there was a question from the audience, how to understand Paramatma voice in the mind. And Prabhuji says, without controlling the senses, we cannot hear the voice of the Lord. The mind's voice is loud, fast, and attached, but Krishna's voice is soft, slow, and detached. So Krishna, the voice, so we need to chant extra. We need to slow down and pause. And to understand form, there's sound, and first a thought comes into our mind, and then a feeling. And he gave an example of going to the temple, how first of all the thought comes. So when we offer prayers, we want to listen to Krishna's voice. So we want our thoughts, because our thoughts are very fast. The mind is very quick. And he gave lots of examples of, you ask Krishna one thing and your mind travels in all sorts of different past instances. So we can pray to Krishna in sound form. And some devotees get this sort of almost like a barber stage where they cry, they pant, and have different strong feelings. So we have to invest our emotions in Krishna and do seva. And there was another question. I only wrote the answer, I didn't get the question. But the whole thing is about performing austerities, association with devotees, learn to see Krishna in our daily life. We need to see Krishna. And he gave beautiful examples of Srila Prabhupada, who can see Krishna everywhere. In Paris, he sees him thinking of Vrindavan. In Australia, he sees Radharani. And so great devotees see and remember Krishna in everything and everywhere. And we need to be so conscious of Krishna. And practice makes perfect. And then he was asked about how to chant and attentively. And he says, in order to stop the wandering mind, the breathing exercise is very important. So that's as far as I got, Mataji. Thank you for your confidence in me.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. I thought that was a real good experiment about the clip, that
Yes.
we should take any object and then associate that with a pastime or some philosophy or something to do with Krishna. Maybe we should do that also in our group. Sometimes when you finish early, we can take one object and then everybody can tell us what they think and try to associate with it. So thank you for the summary, and we can open it up for discussion if there is any discussions needed. Otherwise, Arya Govind Prabhu, you can take over the session and end the session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone, Hare Krishna. Can you please post the link, because this class is so interesting and important that I want to listen it once more, because as Premila Mataji is saying, to get the energy of the Goswamis, we need to listen again. Right?
So it is now
please.
recorded on our session, so you will find it in our session.
Okay, thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for sharing this such wonderful class of His Grace Vajavihari Prabhu. It was nice, mesmerizing class, as other devotees have said. Really, he gave us very practical tips on how to remember Krishna and how to connect to Krishna, and then how to always keep relating to Krishna in each and everything what we do. Although it's not easy, but a practical tip, and then we have to how to do it is as he was mentioning a couple of times, how to do it. How to do it. It's the how to do it. There's no answer, but it's our effort and then constant association with the devotees and association with Harikatha is what will guide us. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing us. And then, as Induleka Mataji was saying, that we must listen to this lecture again to understand deeper meaning of each and every minute of his class. Thank you so much, Mataji. I request all the devotees to unmute and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in glorification of His grace. Vraj Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
Sindhubhya
Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Namaha. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pramila
His
Mataji as
Grace
well.
Vraj Hari Prabhuji ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai.